Welcome back, Rangers Ed family. I am your host, Little Ed, and we are here with you live this week for a special live stream of the Draft Lottery sponsored by Lucarelli Law. If you're in New York or Florida and need some legal advice, reach out to Dom Lucarelli and tell him Rangers Ed sent you. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Coach Ed, and our producers, Nick and Dom. On this episode, we'll be previewing some of the prospects entering the draft this year, watching the draft along with you guys, and telling you what type of player we think the Rangers should draft. We also have a draft-themed blind rankings planned and our round 2 picks for you to close out the episode. So, Coach, you're in a new location, not downstairs in the Ranger room. What were you up to this weekend?
Just watching a lot of playoff hockey, and nothing spectacular. It was a quiet weekend, a little chilly here still, so nothing really went on a little hike, but nothing earth-shattering.
Well, before we get into it, what was your highlight of playoff hockey this weekend? Any teams get eliminated?
What's that, bud?
Any teams get eliminated you're disappointed about, or what's going on?
I mean, no, I needed the Wild to win. I think everybody who made it should have made it. So I was just a little shocked by that Wild Colorado opening game, as I'm sure a lot of people were. 9-6 or whatever the score. Yeah, 9-6, I believe, 15 goals. Crazy 5-5 after 2. It was a back and forth game.
Yeah, a lot of exciting stuff, a lot of unpredictabilities in the playoffs as always, and
another 0-0 overtime game for the Canadians in Tampa.
Yeah, Montreal went shotless in the second period, only 3 shots in the third period, still found a way to win Game 7 against Tampa, which was very impressive. Dom, I meant to wish you a happy birthday last week. I completely forgot. You celebrated a birthday a week and a half ago at this point, so happy birthday. Did you do anything fun over this weekend while we were gone, or I guess you could discuss your birthday if you'd like?
No, man. I actually came up to Long Beach, in Island Park. My cousins live up there, so we went out for a little bit. We went to a couple places to eat. We were just on the beach. It was a nicer weekend, other than the rain on Saturday, but Friday was pretty nice. So we just hung out. I watched some playoff hockey. Yeah, and this weekend I was doing the same. I was pretty surprised with that first Avs game too, Coach. So that was pretty crazy. But yeah, just watching hockey, hanging out.
Yeah, I got to think that series is going to tighten up from here on out, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll let this year slide, Dom, but next year we'll have to take you out to Sorrento's for your birthday if you're going to come to Long Beach again. No doubt.
For sure. Yeah.
All right, Nick, last but not least, how was your week since last episode, buddy?
It's been all right. I mean, same as you guys, watching a lot of playoff hockey, sprinkling in some Mets baseball here and there, which has been a rough ride, and got to play in a little bit of hockey this past weekend. Me and my team, we had a couple games and got pumped 8-0 both games. So, I mean, what are you going to do? But it was a fun experience nonetheless, and I'm excited to talk about a bit more hockey with you guys.
Hell yeah, man. Well, thank you very much. You did some great work on some graphics we're going to get to in a little bit, previewing the top 10 projected picks, and also some former Ranger first-round picks that we want to revisit, whether it's good or bad that we're going to revisit them. We'll figure that out. Gaza, one of our number 1 fans, also, his birthday was 4 days ago, so happy birthday to Gaza in the chat.
Happy birthday, Gaz.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be. I didn't know he was my age, 36 years old, I believe he said on Instagram. So happy birthday to Gaz. And yeah, I'm sure he's going to be making us laugh in the chat as we get along here. So yeah, before we get into everything, I was scrolling through Instagram right before the show, and I found out that they seem to be doing it a little bit differently this year. So I wanted to just bring up what the NHL posted on their Instagram. I hope they don't mind that I'm stealing their graphics. I'm sure they won't. But what's at stake? The draft lottery determines the order of selection for the first 16 picks of the first round of the 2026 NHL draft. All teams that did not qualify for the playoffs are included, or the teams, parentheses, or the teams that have acquired the first round drafting positions of those non-playoff teams. Secondly, how it works. See, this is where it gets a little confusing. Coach Ed says we need a CPA to figure this out. So I am not a CPA, but I did do some math in college, so we'll see what we could do. The lottery will be conducted in 2 phases. The first one is to determine the first overall pick, and the second is to determine the second overall pick. 14 balls, number 1 to 14, will be placed into a lottery machine with 4 drawn. This 4-digit series is matched against a lookup table that lists 1,000 possible combinations to determine which team was assigned the winning combination. The lookup table of combinations assigned to each team is available on NHL.com, which I tried to look up, and all it is a bunch of random numbers on a page with teams assigned to each random number. So I'm not going to bother throwing that up on the screen, but we could definitely follow it along later. If
They're doing it right now, I believe. Well, that was last
on
year.
ESPN, I got Gavin McKenna up on the screen. I think, that was probably last year, Coach, when good old Islanders won the pick. Yeah. So, I guess basically what they're going to do is when I guess the first team is up, they're going to – or when the first overall pick is up, they're going to pick the 4 numbers. And then apparently those numbers have been randomly selected or assigned to each team ahead of time. So we'll see how that's going to work. And as each ball is drawn, odds change and teams are eliminated. So basically, like if number 1 is drawn and if a team doesn't have any numbers starting with number 1, I guess they're going to be eliminated. Obviously, they don't have a chance to win. And then however they're going to do it in real time, I guess the odds will go up based on the first number picked, the second number picked, and so on. So teams can move up a maximum of 10 spots if they win one of the lottery draws. Thus, only the top 11 seeds will be eligible to receive the first overall selection. The 14 teams not selected in either lottery draw will be assigned the remaining draft positions in an inverse order of regular season points. So it sounds like they're going to do this pretty quick. I'm sure they're going to fill a lot of time interviewing McKenna and maybe some other prospects. So while they do that, I got 2 more graphics for you. So the Rangers are currently they will be sitting 3rd overall in the percentages. They have 11.5% chance to win the draft lottery. And then Dom was able to pull the Rangers Instagram post of their odds overall for the picks 1 through 5. So basically they're guaranteed to pick in the first or in the top 5 picks this year, which is great. Sounds like no matter what, they're going to have a pretty good selection, especially with the graphics that I saw before and what you guys are going to see in a few minutes. But real quick, pick number 1, 11.5%. Pick number 2, 11.0%. Pick number 3, 8.1%. Pick number 4, 40.3%. And pick number 5, 29.1%. I'm not really sure why pick number 3 has the lowest percentage, but maybe there's someone out there that could explain that to us. I have a feeling Gaz is not going to be that guy. And yes, he's 36 years old. If those Vancouver can openers get the number 1 pick, I'm rioting in Vancouver. Guy's something else. So yeah,
they already got McKenna jerseys printed for them.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
I saw correct today. We have 2 first-round draft picks to shift. The one from Dallas.
Yeah, so that was like the conditional pick that was part of which trade was that? Do you guys know?
That was the Nils Lundqvist trade, I
Okay.
believe.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of him, did you guys see him get slashed in the face with a skate?
Yeah.
He didn't come back yet.
No, that was scary. That was real scary. Right below his eye, too.
Oh,
So-
shit.
Could have been a lot worse for sure. But yeah, what do they got in this briefcase? Does anyone have the volume up?
Let me
So
put
this
mine up
determines the
myself.
draft order. Each team hoping their lucky numbers come up, bring it over to the commissioner. And while they do that, let's say hello to our official timekeeper again. So I guess Bettman's got like the list of numbers or something? Let's see what he's got in this briefcase.
I
Oh,
wanna say
those
it's
are all the
ping pong
balls.
All the
Yeah.
balls. Remember the
1
ping
through
pong balls that
14.
They dropped the Rangers that year.
So I guess when the Rangers won that year, they had X amount of 100 balls in there, and 50 or whatever number it was of them were Ranger balls. I believe that's how it worked. So whatever,
Yes. Yeah. I think so.
careful with Butcher Gross's voice on ESPN there, fellas. We don't want to get taken down. But no worries. So yeah, it looks like they're dropping the balls in there. So while they do that, let's get into Nick's graphics that he put together for us today. So Nick, why don't you cue up the projected top 10 there? So obviously, Gavin McKenna has been the talk of the town for the last year or two as the projected first overall pick this year. He currently plays at Penn State. He has 15 goals, 36 assists, 51 points. He finished his first year at Penn State. And Nick's got there. His NHL comparison is Clayton Keller. Obviously, Gavin's been, like I said, talked about for 2 years now as the projected first overall. Would be very surprised if he doesn't go first. After that, we got a player in Sweden, Ivar Stenberg, and he played for the Frölunda Hockey Club, and we're pretty familiar with them as Henrik Lundqvist is a legend over in Frölunda, and along with his twin brother Joel. And his comparison is William Nylander. Wouldn't hate to have a little Swedish guy walking around with Hank as his mentor. Similar to last time, guys, I'm just going to kind of keep running through this. If you want to stop me or have anything to say, just speak up and I'll stop talking. But yeah, reminder to the listeners, if you guys are on audio only, definitely head on over to YouTube and check out these great graphics that Nick put together today. And if you aren't on social media or don't follow us on Instagram or any of our social media networks, definitely head on over there to check out all the awesome videos that Dom is putting together for us. So great job, fellas, as always. So who we got next after the Frölunda star Ivar Stenberg? See if we can fast forward here a little bit. Carlson, how do you say that? Carrells? Carrells?
Yeah.
Carrells?
Mhm.
He's a defenseman, 20 goals, 53 assists, 73 points. I mean, you can't really shake your head at that. I don't care where you're playing. 73 points. What league is he playing in right now, guys?
I want to say that is the WHL.
And his comparison, let's go back to him real quick, is
Dub.
Zach Werenski. So, I mean,
Yeah, very. Before you guys move on, I really like him. Not for the Rangers because I prefer a right-handed defenseman. We'll talk about that more during the coach's corner. But Carrells is really fast.
All right. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. He's really fast. Watching a lot of highlights and seeing his scouting report, I think he's going to be way better than Zach Werenski. I think that's a great comparison. But he's that prototypical left-handed quarterback of a power play. He's going to jump up in the play when he gets a chance. He might even, I know, from here to the draft, it's a little bit. So he might even get the nod for the second overall pick if a team is needed in that position.
All right, so they just started the draft, guys. I mean, yeah, good analysis there, Dom. The first number is 7. So right now, that puts us at 11.9% for the Rangers. It just went up a few points, I guess, right? Because we started 11.5%. So right now, the Vancouver Canucks are 19.9, and the Rangers are right behind there with 11.9. We got 12 seconds until the next ball gets pulled up. So real quick, Chase Reed from the Sioux Greyhounds, another defenseman. Looks like he's right-handed. NHL comparison, Evan Bouchard. Coach, I would really enjoy that one. Right now, 18 goals, 30 assists, and 48 points on the year. The next number is 2. So let's see what that does. The Rangers' odds go up again, 13.6. They jumped
behind you guys.
They jumped almost 2 full points. And
Nice.
The Canucks went up a couple points as well to 16.7. Seattle jumped up a lot to 18.2 with that drawing. So we got 7 seconds to the next one. Did I miss anybody? I wasn't paying attention to our screen.
Yeah, we went a little fast. Chase Reed is the guy that I like. I watched him at World Juniors.
Really? So you would compare him?
I don't know if I'd compare him to Evan Bouchard. He was more physical to me. I don't know. He's
Looks
only,
like
I only watched him in a few games, but if that's what the NHL analysts are comparing him to.
Looks like the third number is number 11. And looks like Vancouver and the Rangers are the top 2 teams. Everyone else is at 9.1%, and a ton of teams got eliminated with that drawing. So there's only 9 teams left there. Look at Chris Drury up there in the corner.
If the Rangers get the first round pick, there's going to be mayhem. There's going to be
riots. Nuts.
And I live for it because at least it's not Florida.
So if the Rangers it has to be a 9 or a 14 for the Rangers to win it. My lucky number 14, baby. Let's see it.
Let's see if 14 comes up. I'm behind you guys, so
let's see it. Are they going to drag this out and go to commercial break?
Oh yeah, they're gonna drag this out.
My heart's beating, fellas. Bringing back memories. To
So
the last
Florida's
draft.
out. Okay, that's cool. Like you just said, Nick.
Commercial. All right, Chase Reed. Sorry, Coach. What were you saying? You wouldn't compare him to Evan Bouchard?
I mean, I don't see him enough to compare him to that. And you guys know I'm not an Evan Bouchard fan if you listen. And they've been talking about Edmonton on NHL radio all week, and it's just a disaster. I don't understand what goes on there, but I thought he was a good. He had a higher hockey IQ that I liked, and he was good at reading the plays and pinching and not pinching when he wasn't supposed to. I watched him, like I said, in World Juniors, but I don't know enough about him. But I'd go for that righty defenseman since it's such a hot commodity.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the right-handed defenseman is what a lot of teams are looking for these days.
And he's big.
Yeah,
he's tall.
I mean, I'm not opposed to the left-handed defenseman that Don was talking about, so we'll see. Looks like this ball is gonna pop up right after this commercial break. But let's see if we could sneak in one more player until that happens. Let's see who we got next. Nikita Klepov, which is a forward. He is at the Saginaw Spirit. He's got 37 goals, 60 assists, 97 points, and his NHL comparison is Kyle Connor. I'm not a big fan of Kyle Connor myself. He's a very talented guy, but I think he needs some size. So if that's who we're going to compare him to, I think just like anybody else, they're going to have to put on some size.
I don't like this. I don't like that whole. Who was the other guy compared to? The second guy. I don't like those. I don't feel like those are playoff type of players. I mean, Kyle Connor's a great player, but I just feel like those kind of guys disappear in the playoffs. I mean, that's when he came against Carolina the last two games. He's just. It just doesn't happen in the playoffs to me. I don't know what your guys' feelings are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. There's a reason why Connor was scratched in the Olympics again. That perimeter play just doesn't.
Wow.
12. Who got it? Toronto.
Oh
my God, dude!
Oh my God.
What?
That is such a joke. That is such a joke.
Jeez.
Oh
man.
Holy goodness!
They jumped Vancouver.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Wow.
Oh man.
Well, the only good thing that means we can get Austin Matthews.
If they're gonna completely
at some point, when Austin Matthews is 34 years old, we'll get him. When they got
I saw the one and I got really excited, and I saw the two after. I said, "Oh," because I'm looking for the team. I was sure it was Vancouver, but then, oh man, that's crazy.
Oh, my God. Toronto. Gavin McKenna with Matthews.
Wow.
Matt Sundin.
Well, that answers that question of Matthews leaving Toronto.
Boy, you talk about the fixes in. They talked about the Rangers. They announced Matt Sundin coming back.
To the weirdest title too. Like, that's not a real title in hockey operations. I think his title was like senior executive advisor or something like that. Something dumb.
Oh, the guy's a legend. The guy's the legend. You can't.
Absolutely.
I'm not hating on that. I'm just saying.
At that point,
is it a coincidence that Mario Lemieux bails out Pittsburgh and they get the next pick is Sidney Crosby? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but talk about conspiracy theories.
Toronto's not going bankrupt anytime.
No, I know, but still,
and
you know what I mean.
I wouldn't even I could understand that if they named Sundin their GM, but they named the goofball John Chaika their GM, so it's just like, all right. I mean, I guess.
Well, I think that guy. I think the whole thing with that is he's the analytics guy, and Sundin's going to be the eye test guy. Let's call it. So he's going to be the buffer kind of to level things out, I feel. That's the gathering I get from listening to a lot of guys on the radio.
Wow, that's crazy.
And Sundin supposedly is amazingly still following the NHL, living over where's he from? Finland, right?
Sweden, I think.
Sweden?
No. I think you're right. It is Finland.
No, Is he from Sweden? No, I thought he was.
I don't know. I could picture him in a Finland.
Or is it
jersey.
Norway?
No, I think it's
Swedish.
Sweden.
Yeah, I thought he was Swedish.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Toronto.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say right now.
So what is that gonna look like now with him? Is McKenna gonna be playing as soon as he gets in the NHL with Matthews? Are they gonna rush him right into that?
You'd have to
That's-
hope after the season that they just had and talking about how they want to get back into contending. I mean, that's the only option you have. 'Cause
Well, I don't know
think
if
Matthews
isn't
would
he a
still be
center,
balling.
McKenna? Is he a wing?
No, he's a
winger.
he's gonna be like a
Unless
Bedard, like
they're-
who could play
Unless they don't
everywhere.
try to contend and they really do want to blow it up a little bit, and then they start trading Matthews and Nylander, and then they start building around McKenna instead.
If it was me personally, I would get rid of Nylander.
Yeah,
He's another guy I don't feel is a playoff type of player.
he is, but he's not. I mean, he was their top producer in the playoffs last year or 2 years ago when they made that little bit of a run. He was their top producer, but like he has the shit attitude in general, I guess. Kind of like, I don't know. He was like showing up to the games in a tank top. He was in the press box giving a finger to the camera and stuff like that. But it's going to be interesting. I don't know. I heard mixed things about McKenna, whether or not he's going to play one more year at Penn State or come to the NHL. You got to think he's going to come to the NHL, especially getting drafted by Toronto. Maybe if it was Vancouver or someone he didn't necessarily want to play for right away, that might be a different story. But you got to think they're going to pull him right up.
I would guess
Whatever he
that
decides to do, get that kid media training because they are gonna not let up on him, especially being that first overall pick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
looks
Toronto's
like the
going to be ruthless.
real quick. They got the Calder Trophy finalists up on the screen right now. It looks like Ivan Demidov, Matthew Schaefer, and Beckett Seneke are up for it. Demidov actually had more points than Schaefer, but Demidov's a forward. Schaefer with 59 points in his rookie year. I mean, that's pretty incredible.
I feel
23
like
goals.
Schaefer had-
Bernsey walking into the game like he's going on a hike in Colorado.
Cross-country excursion. All right, let's get back to Nick's graphics here. I'm not going to touch him, Nick, so you scroll through so we're not both doing it. So where did we leave off here with Nikita Klepov? I'm not sure how I feel about adding another Russian player to the lineup after the recent history, so we'll just leave it at that. But who else? We already talked about Chase Reed. This one I skipped over before. Daxon Rudolph, another defenseman.
Yeah.
Rewind it there. There we go.
What are we
Pause.
doing here, boys?
Pause it. All right, 28 goals. We lost it again.
Well, while he gets that back up, I really
go.
like it, and I have another NHL comparison for him. I have him as a Brent Burns type of player. Big body
guy,
defenseman. Yeah, very, very offensively sound. He'll stay up at the point and he'll jump in if he needs, but 6'2", 200 pounds. He's a big frame defenseman. I like Noah Hannafin, but I like that Brent Burns comparison just because of his physicality. He's not afraid to get in deep or to play a little bit more physical, especially in front of the net defensively.
He's already 200 pounds. That's a good sign. I mean, that's what they're listing him at, so he's got to be close to it.
Yeah, I think
That's great.
203. 203 is exact weight.
Real quick, boys, they started the second drawing. Number 11 is the first number drawn. The Rangers are at 10.5% chance to get the second pick right now. So, yeah, I like those comparisons. He a lefty or a righty?
He's a righty.
He's a righty. Yeah, so, I mean, they got a lot of a big selection here, I guess, of defensemen. All right, Florida just got eliminated. So, Florida's not picking first or second. That's good. Yeah, a lot of defensemen to pick from here. Nikita Klepov, we just talked about him, a small forward compared to Kyle Connor. Who's this guy from North Dakota here?
It is Keaton
Verhoff, another defenseman. NHL comparison, Aaron Ekblad. He had 6 goals, 14 assists, 20 points with North Dakota. I love me an NCAA player. We've discussed that recently with some of Chris Drury's moves here. I skipped over the second ball. It was a number 4. The Rangers at 13.6%. Now at a number 3, they're tied with Vancouver at 18.2%. and Toronto's at 27.3. Imagine Toronto gets the first and second.
Oh man,
That's not
All right.
possible.
So Rangers
It
need a
is.
Oh,
It's
you mean
Boston's
Ra-
pick.
Rangers need a 1 and a 13.
Yep,
for the
Rangers need
second
1
overall
and a 13. Toronto 2, 10, 12. Vancouver 5 and an 8. And I'm sure they're going to go to another quick commercial or whatever here.
Now,
Um,
a quick question: if they get the second overall pick, do you still pick a winger if the Rangers get the second overall pick, or do you jump up and or go down and take a defenseman?
If Toronto
think-
gets the second, or if the Rangers do.
No, if the Rangers get the second overall pick.
I think you need to. I go by. I remember way before you guys were born. The Giants, the football Giants general manager said you always take the best player available. That's my
Maple
opinion.
Leafs. No.
No,
Sharks.
no, Sharks got it. Wow. Well,
I love how
that
like
answers
they don't
that
even
question.
like seem excited or anything. That's like so fishy to me.
Who doesn't seem excited? The
The
GM.
GMs.
Remember when they got Laffy picked? Gordon was going crazy.
Yeah. All right.
And
So we
Vancouver
got
the third
Toronto
pick.
and
Boy, Vancouver
San
got
Jose.
screwed, huh?
San Jose is going to be good, huh? So then we got Vancouver. Looks like they're going to go through rapid fire here, or does Vancouver get it automatically?
I think they just get it automatically. I think they had the top 3 odds for it, regardless. So I think they get the third automatically.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they just showed it up. It's the top 3 is Toronto, San Jose, and Vancouver.
Maybe Mike Rear's on a delay like me. He doesn't realize he's got the number 2 pick. Yo, there he goes.
All right. Well, is that the last prospect? I think we got one more.
I believe we have one.
This
or
kid
two
looks
more.
big, this Keaton. There's a lot of good names in the first number of prospects, huh?
A lot of good hockey names, that's for sure. A lot of good hockey names.
Is this kid American, Keaton?
Yes. Yeah.
He looks like he's tall. I don't know. I'm still leaning towards going after tall, big defensemen because that's the trend. And I think Colorado, every defenseman's over 6'2", and it's just I think that's the way you got to do it. That can move, obviously.
Here we got a left wing, Ethan Belchetz, playing for the Spitfires right now. I guess he's on Green Tree's team. He's got 34 goals, 25 assists, 59 points this year. And I guess he's still playing in the playoffs, which is always a good thing, getting that experience at any level. And his NHL comparison is Valery Nikushkin. I always have trouble with that name, Nikushkin. And he's a left winger. It's hard to say exactly what they're going to need this year. But, yeah, I mean, it seems to me like they can't really go wrong. What do you guys think?
Well, I think they just got the Rangers are locked into the 5th overall pick.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's Chicago, Rangers, Calgary at 6, Seattle at 7.
Who's third?
8. Vancouver.
Yeah,
All
so
right,
it looks
so
like
fifth.
Rangers just got locked in there.
What about Caleb?
fifth. What about Caleb? What?
Caleb Malhotra is the top prospect too. Do you guys have him
I
listed?
think he was last year. I think we got one
sorry.
more.
Yes.
Yep, one more. So Caleb Malhotra. Oh, no, 2 more.
2 more.
Adam
Adam.
Novak. Whatever. All right, we'll get there. Caleb Malhotra is playing for who?
He's the Brentford Bulldogs.
Brentford Bulldogs. His NHL comparison is Matty Beniers, 29 goals, 55 assists, 84 points, and he plays center. So, Coach, strong down the middle. And
Yeah, I mean, if we're going by what Johnny Laz was saying on a couple episodes ago, we got to start building up some center prospects. So that might be a good pick.
yeah, yep, without a doubt.
And then they
Without a
bring
doubt.
Manny over. They bring Manny back to coach the AHL team. I think Manny's an assistant coach somewhere.
I think he's coaching in juniors, or it might be E ECHL.
Juniors? I thought he was in. Okay.
I could be wrong. Like, it might be ECHL. Either way.
He looks like he's a pretty big, not tall, but he's got good size.
Let's see, Manny Malhotra.
He's coaching for the Abbotsford Canucks in the AHL.
There you go. There you go.
Doubt it again.
Adam Novakov, left wing or right wing. That's always good that he could play both. Who was I listening to? I guess they were talking about defensemen playing on the side that they're not used to. Oh, it was Brent Burns in this game. He got caught out of position. I was like, this guy's been playing over 1,000 NHL games. You're telling me he can't play both sides at this point?
Brett Burns can't play either side.
Yeah.
Who was saying that? The commentators?
Yeah, I think it was actually Enzo.
I am so sick of Ray Ferraro, I can hardly watch the game. I got to be honest. He reminds me of, what's his name? Collinsworth. All he does is go for what's positive right now, and then he switches like one shift later. He'll switch this because it's just like driving me crazy.
It's wild.
I love the guy Shelley. I love Jody Shelley when he does it, but he just Enzo and him just drive me freaking crazy.
Yeah, same here. All right, we got a lot to choose from here. So the Rangers, like I said, locked in their fifth overall pick. They were guaranteed to be in the top 5, and of course they get that number 5. But still, like we said, a lot of good players here. We just went through all 10 of the top 10 projected. We just watched the draft lottery. So let's take a quick break, unless you guys have anything to add, and jump into Coach's Corner and watch our commercial from the boys over at Bella.
Hey everybody, Coach Ed here. I'm over here in the shop at Bella Italia, Marble, Granite, and Quartz, picking up my order for a nice little bathroom I'm doing. I've been a contractor almost as long as I'm a hockey coach. So listen to me when I tell you, when you want the quality work and craftsmanship, I'm going to see the boys over at Bella. They serve all 5 boroughs, Westchester, Long Island, all the way out to Montauk. Whether you're a Ranger fan, Islander fan, Devils fan, they're going to take care of you no matter what. Make sure you give them a call, 516-561-1018. Let's go, Rangers.
All right, boys, bring it in.
Shout out to Bella Italia Marble, as always. Coach, just in time, coming back from his quick bathroom break. Coach, you got any projects recently from Bella or something you could share with us?
Yeah, we're actually doing a kitchen for Kathy. We're doing her countertops over the end of the month or beginning of next month. And she put the order in. They're cutting it now. And I got an outdoor kitchen I'm doing also that's coming up. So they're putting that order together. They usually get it ready ahead of time. This way, when my schedule warrants it, they're ready to pop it in. So it works out pretty good.
All right, awesome. Well, before we get into Coach's Corner, we have a few comments here from the chat. Fitness Chick 4 says, whoever made the graphics is a king.
Thanks.
So,
What is it? Who's that, your sister?
Yeah, what's going on? And she said, let me know if you read the Twitch chat. So the answer is yes. And real quick, what's the first thing you did when you woke up today? And it looks like she might have left, so she got upset that we didn't answer. So
made the coffee.
Watches it. All right, Coach Ed made coffee. The first thing I did today when I woke up is, I guess I made my coffee also, but I drove up to Maine for work. So that's where I'm at right now. So that was the first thing I did today. What about you guys?
Same thing as normal. Just woke up, started getting ready for work, showering, basic stuff.
Yeah, all the adult stuff.
Nothing special on a Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
Not exercise, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, sorry, Fitness Chick 4. I did just walk on the treadmill when I got to my hotel for a little while before we hopped on here, but definitely not working it out in the morning. All right, let's get into Coach's Corner. Coach, what do you got for us this week? Basically, what we're going to talk about is what we think we should be drafting or what we should be targeting as Cale Makar rubs that special sauce on his hip again. I need to know what that is.
It's the horse cream.
It's got to be the horse cream. After he rubbed that on his hip, he scored the game-winning goal last night, I think. So something's working.
You know what I find intriguing? A few years ago, let's go back like 4 years till now. The Sharks, the Ducks, and the Coyotes were all just taking teams' garbage that they wanted to unload. And now we go 4 years later, and who's making all the noise? Not all the noise, but who's
A lot of
there?
ex-Rangers.
Not only that, I'm saying the Ducks are there. They everybody said, oh, they're just taking everybody from these other teams. They're just dumping what was it called? The garbage dump or whatever. The Coyotes were taking players from everybody.
Salary dump.
And the same thing with now Utah's flying high. The Ducks were obviously playing well, and the Sharks just almost made it in. But it's interesting.
Well, Coach, the biggest thing with that is patience, and that's what we've been trying. That's what we were saying the last couple episodes. Things are looking up at the Rangers. We just saw them get the 5th overall pick. They got a lot of young prospects already in the lineup, but the Ducks haven't been good for 10 years. You know, like some of these teams, the Mammoth are lucky to be this good. I mean, they're doing a great job over there with ownership, but they turned it around a lot quickly. But when they moved from Arizona to Utah, they weren't anything special. They're lucky they were able to hang on to a lot of their players, but that falls into patience, being able to hang on to some of those players and letting them grow and not losing patience with, say, a player like Brett Howden, who's tearing it up right now for Vegas.
He's got 6 goals, I think.
Guy's an absolute dog. He'd be a great player to have on the 3rd or 4th line right now, wouldn't you say? So, you know, like that's what I'm trying to say is just you got to be patient with these guys. And even like a player like Laffy, I know a lot of us lose patience with him, but like you never know. Like all of a sudden he could turn it around. I know a lot of people feel the same way. I was with some of my hockey friends who are not Ranger fans at the wedding over the weekend, college hockey friends from back in the day, and a few of them said it too. That Laffy, he shows those signs. You just got to put it together. So if he's able to figure it out and one of these other players are able to figure it out, and then you got all these other prospects that could blossom all of a sudden, Gabe Perreault, and all of a sudden the Rangers could turn into a team like Utah. So that being said, Coach, who do you think or what would you like the Rangers to target and be patient with in this year's 2026 draft?
Well, I would go for that big defenseman, like I said, one of those bigger defensemen. I definitely would not go for a Zach Jones type or an Adam Fox size type. I would go for one of the bigger defensemen and or the center. I think I might lean away. I don't know. Ever since Elias Anderson and Kako, I'm a little shy of these Scandinavian players. Not that they can't turn out good. I don't know, other than Hank, if they could handle the pressure in New York and these bigger market teams. I'm a little leery of it. I didn't see enough film of the kid from Verlander or whatever it's called to make a judgment on it. But I did see Elias Anderson back when he threw the medal into the crowd, and I right off the back didn't like that at all. But
I was with you on that one. That annoyed the shit out of me. And that
I thought it was disrespectful, and that just shows me the character. So I'm going to trust, like I said, the last couple of months, I'm going to trust Jury and the scouting staff to pick the right character and the player that should be the best available when they come up to number 5. But I like that bigger defenseman. I like the kid Chase Reed because I like his name too. So
yeah,
and
what?
Either that or the center, like Laz was saying, we got to build up some center prospects.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I mean, I know this is kind of like a cop-out answer, but I think it really is. Like, it depends on how fast they want to turn this thing around. You know, like if they want to take their time with it, then you might want to go for that center, like you just said, you know, because then in a year or two, Mika is on his way out. JT Miller will be on his way out. Trocheck, who knows when he's going to be gone. We obviously all want him to stay. But who knows if they get rid of him or trade him? Not get rid of him. That's a bad way to put it. But trade him in the offseason. So, you know, like Laz was saying, that center prospect might be good to, like, restock the pool a little bit or restock the pond with center depth. But that being said, if they're trying to turn around quickly and one of these defensemen could be NHL ready, especially a solid, like, left-handed defenseman, when Dom was talking about that kid before. What was his name again, Dom?
That was, oh, my God. Let me go back.
It was the
I was
one that
just
was
talking about
compared.
Corrals.
It was the one that was compared to Zach Werenski, the left-handed one. That's a little bit more attractive to me because we already have Fox, who's the right-handed defenseman. That kid had, I think, 70 points in his season or in his
Carson
year.
Corrals.
Yeah, that was him. So, if one of you guys could look up his height and weight, or at least his height for now, if he's putting up that amount of points as a lefty, and then we have Fox putting up that amount of points as a righty, it wouldn't hurt to have two defensemen like that on the power play, Coach. You know what I'm trying to say.
100%. Yeah, I don't hate that.
Yeah, he's 6'2", 202 pounds, so he's definitely very, very solid.
Yeah. So
I like that. That's the kid that was compared to Brett Burns, you said? Or you compared him to Brett Burns?
This is Carson Corrales. So they're both 6'2", 200-pound defensemen. He's 202.
Oh, I
the other
like
kid's
that.
203.
Well, on the graphic, I think it said Zach Werenski, but you said also Brent Burns type.
Well, I said that for Dax and Rudolph.
Okay, my bad. I'm getting all confused. Well, either way, I was definitely more attracted to the left-handed one. So, yeah, that would be my reasoning for maybe just staying strong on the blue line. And I guess you could always trade for another center. I know they're hard to come by, but being strong on the blue line and finding these defensemen that are offensively gifted and also big, I think that's really hard to come by. And you can kind of like fill in the pieces up front. Like I said, if they're looking to win in the next year or two, and this kid's big and ready to go, he could even play with Schneider. I know I was saying last episode.
Yeah, poor Schneider sticking with another guy.
I know last episode I was saying like finally Schneider is with Fortescue, but like if that solidifies Schneider in the number 2 or the second pairing with a really good left-hand defenseman like this kid could be, I think that might be the way. That could
the
be
other option to your point is maybe that gives them the option of putting Fortescue back in the minor leagues to play the AHL for a year if this kid's bigger. Because obviously, to me, they keep talking about the Rangers didn't play any really games with meaning. I thought they competed really hard, but I did notice a lot. Schneider was backing him up a lot, and he was late getting to the front of the net on a lot of occasions. So he needs to learn a lot more at that pace. So maybe he does need a half a season down up in Hartford, and maybe if this kid can play right away with his size, it might be a difference. Yeah, so it's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
it might be, but I think even with the Rangers, you got to look a bit more into the defensive position. I mean, after this past year, Schneider's contract is up, so you got to make a decision on what you want to do with him. Ultimately, I think the Rangers bring him back, and then you just draft another defenseman to maybe play alongside of him or on the pairing beneath him. But I think it's getting to a point now where you need to kind of figure out what you want to do with your guys and then kind of draft around that. I mean, obviously there's a little bit of time in between tonight with the draft lottery and the draft, but I think it's something that the Rangers need to start thinking about if they want to try to speed up this rebuild from their second letter and everything to the fans. And I think trying to get Schneider and that whole defensive core first lockdown is probably the most important thing.
Yeah, I mean the cliche defense wins championships isn't said all the time for no reason. And Coach, you bring it up all the time that the last whatever amount of Stanley Cup winners have all been big, solid defensemen. I mean, you're looking at it this year, it's the same thing. I mean, Colorado, Minnesota, other than Quinn Hughes, none of these guys are like any slouches. Everyone's just solid, plays good defensive hockey. And, you got players like Brock Faber, chipping in offensively as well. You got to have both. You can't just be a one-way defenseman in this league anymore. And we talked about it with Gavrikov. We keep forgetting about him. So, he'll be another left-handed defenseman for the Rangers that'll hopefully continue on the path that he's on right now.
I found it interesting they had on that prospect show on NHL, and I do encourage people to listen to that. I think it's Saturday and Sunday morning on NHL radio. The one NHL coach asked I believe it was the San Jose farm system, how many offensive defensemen you got on the team? He was, we really only have 2. He said, that's the wrong answer. We need to make them all offensive. they're all going to be ready for NHL. They all need to be able to jump into the play and make plays in the offensive zone. So it's just an interesting concept that a lot of these kids coming up that they have that skating ability, and there's no more really like Jack Johnson, defensive defenseman, and they're all being phased out. These kids are all coming in with skill. I think that the top 4 defensemen in another few years is just going to be eliminated because the skill of these players coming into the league is just off the charts, and it's just going to create 6 strong defensemen. So it's going to be hockey IQ and desire to win, mental strength.
Yeah, I mean, on that subject of offensive defensemen, what was I going to say? Oh my gosh, I got distracted by the Canadians. Never mind.
No,
I mean, forgot what I was going to say.
I mean, I'll while you're thinking of that, I'll talk about my pick. I know I was very big on Daxon Rudolph, but I also
got it. Go ahead.
Oh, you want to say it before you lose it?
No, I got it.
No, I'm a huge fan of Caleb Malhotra. I think Johnny Laz was talking about him last week, and doing my research, he's that Vinny Trocheck type of two-way, very smart hockey player, very smart center that the Rangers would need for them to even develop. I wouldn't mind if they keep him down a year and develop him the right way, especially seen in the Rangers past that they have little success with rushing guys up a lot of the time. So very speedy, two-way center, could do it all. He's very good defensively, back checks. He's very good passer, but he's scoring a lot.
What's his size?
He's 6'2", 182. So he's a bigger guy.
Good size.
He probably needs to fill out just a little bit, but a bigger guy like that prototypical like old-fashioned center where like they're doing everything pretty much.
Well, that's how Manny was. You guys most likely don't really remember him, but he was with the Rangers a couple of years. He never made it to say second or first line, but he was that steady two-way player, and obviously his career took off a little more when he moved to when he played in Vancouver.
To me,
he became more of a reliable third-line center.
To me, that sounds like a Drury pick. Honestly, the more you guys talk about him, and the more I think about everything that we've been saying about the common denominators of Drury's recent draft picks, like that solid two-way style of play. And I mean, the more I talked about it too, like the Rangers are kind of flooded with defensemen as well. I'm trying to think of who else they have floating around in Hartford.
They got the kid
right now.
Macklin. What was his name? Mancini. They traded. They have the other kid, Macklin.
I know who you're talking about. It's on the tip of my tongue.
He played out. He was out of college last year too. But anyway, they got a couple of guys down there.
Well, my question that I forgot before that I wanted to say is, what are your thoughts on Slavin? Have you been watching him at all in the playoffs? Because he's a very defensive-minded player. But it seems like, I mean, Carolina is doing fine now, but as the playoffs go on, it seems like they struggle a little bit with scoring. So maybe Slavin isn't all he is cracked out to be, and you kind of need a little bit more offense from this guy.
What do you mean? Why are you talking about Slavin?
Because we were just talking about how you have to have both now in the NHL. And Slavin's
been in the league. See, I understand what you're saying. The trend is, I'm saying, moving that way. You know what I'm saying? Like development-wise, like when you're the head coach in the NHL and you're talking to the scouts, no, I want all my guys to be pushed to move the puck. Even if they're labeled not as a mover of the puck, he wants them to be taught and let them have the opportunity to make mistakes. Yeah. That's what the focus was on. That's why I'm a little surprised by the whole Hartford situation, because I wanted to talk about that when we have our guest on in a couple of weeks, about how hard it is for these AHL coaches to develop players and win. Because you got to remember, the AHL coaches, they're trying to become an NHL coach most of the time. And how do you do that? By being successful. So there's a fine line between saying, oh, you're a good developmental coach, we're not worried about you winning the championship, just develop the kids and not. You know what I'm saying? They have egos too, and it's hard to be in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, just like anything else that we talked about in the past of like Quinn at the time, or even Laviolette last year, or go back to Gallant, like they're not going to play the younger kids if they're trying to have job security as well, unless they're specifically having those conversations behind the scenes. They want to win, so they're going to go with the players that they trust, and the players that they trust are the veterans, right? So
Yeah,
yeah, definitely a fine line.
you
But I
got
think-
Rubrick as a center down in Hartford too. Don't forget.
Yeah, that's another big one. We talked about him possibly or hopefully being the center of the fourth line. Hopefully Caleb Malholter is not the center of the fourth line. He would probably be better off, like Dom said, developing a little bit more in Hartford. But that
Don't
has
forget
to
you got I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you got Morrow. Scanlon is the guy I'm thinking of. Scanlon.
Yeah. Yep. And what was the other one, like Iorio? Wasn't he a defenseman too?
Yeah, he's from LA. He's a proven, but he's kind of a middle of the road kind of NHL guy right now. I wouldn't.
Yeah, like floating
never,
back. Yeah, he was the 7th D, I think, towards the end of the year.
The kid Connor Mackey made a couple of trips
Mackey,
up to the.
that's who I'm thinking of. Mackey. Yeah, so I mean, they got some solid guys. I mean, any one of those guys that you just named could be another Robertson. Like, how long has Connor Mackey been in with the Wolfpack? I think only like maybe a year or two.
Well,
or three.
Scanlon was there when we went that first. We saw the goalie goal. What's his name? Louis Domingue.
Yeah,
Scanlon was right at the end of the college season. He was with Hartford. I remember.
right.
So that was 2 years ago. So he's been down there a year plus. So they got some depth down there. Like I said, I think they're better off if Johnny Lads has that insight, like you said. It depends on what they're going to do, like Don was saying before. It depends on what they're going to do. If they keep Trocheck, then you could get a center and let him play a little bit in the AHL, or you could rely on other picks you're going to get in the second, third, and fourth rounds, like we've been talking about. You know, so I would, me personally, I say go for the best player available. Two first round picks.
I was going to say that too. Yeah, and then maybe one of those other guys we just talk about fall to their other pick, which I guess has to be out of the 16 because it would have been on the board before. So their other pick has to be in the lower half.
23rd because it's Dallas's pick.
Yeah, they were in the playoffs, so it's after that.
Yeah. I actually have a guy too. If we want to spend a little time on that I was looking at another center that the Rangers would have to develop. He's a very raw prospect. His name is Brooks Rogowski. He is like a Dylan Holloway type of center. He's 6'7", so he's a big dude. You got to be very patient with him. From all the reports I've been seeing and whatever I watched about him, he's very raw. So he's somebody that I like for the Rangers, but they would have to be really, really patient. He plays in the OHL. 6'6", 231. So he's a big dude, but that's somebody who I wouldn't mind the Rangers. He's ranked 14th among North American skaters. So somebody in that 20 to 31 overall pick where the Rangers could pick that center and go with a defenseman with that first.
But my question is with the Rangers grabbing another center is then what do you do with somebody like Laba?
We're not saying grab a center that's going to play next year in the NHL, Nick.
Fair, but
we're saying have depth in case, like Laz was saying, Trocheck's getting old if they keep him. Miller's older. Zibby's got 2 more years, so you got to start developing these guys so they're ready when these guys are moved or when they retire, whatever the case is. That's what we're talking about, not necessarily as a guy that's going to step in September and October.
Fair, but it also just does seem like these older guys that we are talking about are also locked in for a decent bit. I mean, at least for a couple more years, and to have to, I just don't feel like having a couple extras that may not even pan out. Because I mean, the one thing that I always say with draft picks and looking at who you want to try to draft and develop, draft picks are magic beans. You're not always going to be able to pick a guy and know if he's ever going to really become something or not. I mean, we've seen
Oh, of
first
course.
overall.
That's in any sport.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
It's a crapshoot.
with a sport like this, I mean, with a sport as physical and everything as hockey can be, I mean, can you really bank on hoping that these guys are really going to pan out after a certain point? I mean, obviously you have to hope, but I mean,
Well, who are you talking about? What is this related to?
just in terms of the Rangers adding more like center depth and everything, and hoping that in a couple of years that they'd be ready to go when these older guys are coming out. I mean, we're talking about the Rangers looking to maybe grab another center or two. But
Well,
I
that's
mean,
possible that they could trade for one also, but you still have to back yourself up. And like you said, it's a magic bean. Maybe this kid develops into something.
yeah, but there's
Of a
also that
sleeper.
chance that he doesn't. So I mean,
Well,
it's
there's always that
it's a double-edged
chance. I mean,
sword.
what are we
Yeah, of
talking
course.
about?
I
You
mean,
know, if it was guaranteed, then everybody would make it easy.
yeah.
Somebody just said not everyone is a Celebrini or Bedard. Blue Line Blue Shirt said that.
Yeah, shout out
Yeah,
to
I
Mark.
mean,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's a crapshoot. Yeah, that's part of the game of being or whatever, the job of being a good GM, scouting staff, and the whole management of the salary cap. That's what makes it so difficult, in my opinion. So yeah, but to me, you got to go for the character guys and the
Right.
the guys with the mental strength. I saw a couple of things on Instagram. They talked about scouting. And I think I mentioned this before a couple of times. They're like, "What do you look for in a player?" Well, I'm looking to see what they do with their other teammates. I know this kid can score. I know he's got size. I know he can put the puck in the net. I know he can back check. What does he do in a tight game? Is he yelling at his teammates? Is he negative? What is that all about? Was he a locker room guy? So those are the things I think that Drury leans towards. That was the way he was as a player, and I'm hoping that's what he does. And judging by the last 4 years that we went over the draft picks, that's what he's been going for. And all these guys being interviewed, to me, whether they're saying the right things because they're nervous or not, is could be true. But you know what? Mika says the right things. A lot of guys say the right things. And then there's guys like Panarin that don't even say anything. So to me, that's a bad character guy. That's a bad locker room guy. That's not a good teammate when you're in battle. Yeah, he's a good teammate. He jokes it up. He lightens things up. But is he a good teammate when you got to go into the corner in a 1-1 game in the playoffs? It's not going to happen. So I look at things like that. I'm looking more at the character guy that's going to get you through that. So there's a lot of variables to agree with you. It is a crapshoot. To me, there's a lot of variables involved. But that's what I want to see, his track record at any level, what he does in crunch time.
Yeah, I think, Coach, you and I were talking about this, or maybe we heard it together. It's like, it might have been EJ who said it on the last episode, is you need to identify the player's strengths that are going to increase that percentage of them being a good player. Does that make sense? Like, identifying things that Coach just said, like, whatever, for argument's sake, like he starts at 50%, 50-50 chance of him becoming a good player or a bad player, right? You identify something like, all right, in crunch time, he scored with less than a minute left. He goes up 1%. Whatever. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you identify these small things that could mean something in the long run.
And I think that's where analytics come in, because then you could create that formula. And I think that's what they were saying. The guy they hired for the Devils is making me nervous, because this guy is a Moneyball type of guy, and he's going to figure out the way the Devils, to me, were in the 90s and the early 2000s, where they lost so many guys, the Devils, Kovalchuk, Holik. They lost a bunch of guys that were part of their Stanley Cup teams, and they just kept winning because they got the right guys that would play their mentality of hockey, and they were fits, and they were able to be coached, and they were able to be part of a team. And they didn't, like, look at the young guys that we saw at the end. Hemlosh, they're all congratulating each other when they scored. The guy Blythe texted Sikora. He was back at the AHL. He wasn't bitter. He was a teammate. They're teammates for life. And those are the guys that they're going to be going after. And that's what makes me excited as the team heading in the right direction. That's how I look at it, the character guys.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So I think, like we keep talking about, Chris Drury is heading in the right direction in terms of drafting those types of players. And it sounds like we're all on the same page in terms of what we're looking for him to draft this year in the 2026 NHL
Other than
draft.
Nick doesn't want us to draft another center.
I didn't say I don't want you to, but I mean, just looking at some of the guys that you have and some of the guys that you've acquired recently, I don't think it makes entire sense right now. I mean, last week we were talking about needing a right-handed puck moving defenseman, and now we're talking about we need a center. I feel like we just kind of need to.
Well,
I can understand you need both, but if you're looking
no,
at
what
one
Don
or the
was
other-
saying was in the later first round pick, not for their fifth pick.
No, I'm aware, but I
mean, a later first round pick is like a second round pick.
Exactly.
That's a crapshoot. You know,
No,
what
that I
after the
agree
top
with you
10 or
on,
15?
but,
It's
I mean,
like,
I don't want to see this team waste away a top 5 pick for just.
I don't
nothing.
think anybody does.
Well,
Well,
no,
I think
of course not,
that's a
but-
good segue into our next segment of former NHL or Rangers first round picks. So why don't we get into that? So what did we say? We were going to do the blind rankings first, or you want to put up your graphic first, Nick?
Let's rattle off the blind rankings first for y'all.
All right. So we're going to do the blind rankings first. So a little preview where Nick and Dom got together and selected 5 of the more recent Rangers first round draft picks for me and Coach to do our blind rankings for. So let's see what they got for us this week, Coach.
Yeah, well, I'll kick it off for you guys this time around, and in that first player that I'm going to be talking about is Philip Hedl.
Coach's favorite. You going with a hard 5?
Yeah.
Coach, you going with a 5?
What do you say? You want to go with 4? We're doing this together, or
yeah, me and
you guys are doing it together again.
first round pick?
It's going to be first round picks. Yes.
No,
overall.
let's go 3 or 4.
I'll go with a 4.
Okay, we'll go with 4.
4. Lock it in.
Alrighty. So your next player is going to be Mr. Gabe Perreault. Drafted 2023, 23rd overall.
See, that was a steal of a pick. A lot of NHL analysts, I remember, were saying that they were surprised that he fell so low. Especially, I remember him like right before the draft, he was lighting it up with Will Smith, right, at Boston College, Boston College. So I don't know. I think he's got to be pretty high. I'm trying to think of any other first overall picks. Or not first overall.
First
round pick.
first round.
Yeah, first round picks. Oh, now all of a sudden you're correcting us on that?
Well, I always takes me a
first round
while.
pick.
Takes me a while, but I get it.
He's got to be pretty high, 1 or 2, without a doubt, I think.
I mean, I'm going to go. I say we go with 1.
Go with 1? Yeah, in terms of being like pretty much NHL ready. I know I made the mistake last week. He did play in Hartford on 2 separate stints, but doesn't seem like that's going to happen again. So he was pretty much NHL ready coming in.
Another character guy. I mean, you listen to his interviews, and instead of deferring pucks to players, he defers compliments, and you can't take that away from a guy. It's a great attitude. So go ahead. What do you got next?
I'll go with 1. We'll go with 1. Lock it in.
Go with 1.
Locking it in at 1. All right. Next up, we have the number 1 overall pick from 2020, Alexis Lafreniere.
Got to go with 2.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that anyway. Either way, we'll go with 2. So what do we got? 3 and 5 open?
Yep.
Well, only because Laffy could, he's doing okay. Could be doing better. So 2's a fair pick for him, I think.
When he's on and he's got that look in his eye, that kid can play some hockey. So I'm looking forward to him continuing to be the guy. And like we discussed before, like if the Rangers do end up getting rid of some of their, or whatever, losing some of their older veterans, then he's just going to continue to climb, in my opinion.
I hope that I'm looking to see if he does something in the offseason as far as training.
He better.
I really would be excited. Hopefully he matures that way.
If he comes in flying next season, it'll be a different team. All right, 3 and 5 left. Who we got?
Next up, you have Brendan Schneider.
It's Braden.
Braden, not Brendan. Why did I say Brendan?
You keep saying you said Brendan
You said it
last week too.
I'm pretty
I
sure.
make
I
that
did?
mistake all the
Oh,
time.
my
I
bad.
put Brendan on the graphic last week
Sorry,
too.
Coach. I know you love. I know you love
He's
Schneider
my
too.
guy.
So.
Hey Nick, what jersey you got on over there, by the way?
It's just a blank reverse retro from a couple of years ago.
Oh,
What
I
was
got that jersey
Hank
with the
Tom?
Schneider.
Yeah, I got Hank.
Yeah, Coach has the reverse retro with Schneider on the back.
Oh, nice.
All right, yeah. I think we got to go with 3 for Schneids. I mean, he's definitely not worse than
100%.
Heel. I'll tell you
'Cause I
that.
think Dom's
Poor
gonna
Heel,
come up
man.
with Kratzhoff right here. So
That would have been good.
No, for our last spot and probably securing number 5 is Elias Anderson.
There it is.
perfect. We did all right.
Another flawless list, I think, for Coach and I. What do you
We
guys
gotta
think?
make this tougher. We gotta make this a little tougher.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be a bit more of a challenge, but I mean, hey, I mean, we kind of the middle kind of had some pretty strong names there to
Yeah,
really
it's
round
tough.
out the top of the list.
We
Yeah,
should
that
have
was good.
replaced Schneider with Kratzhoff at 4. We should have replaced.
That would have made
Schneider.
it tougher.
Yeah, or maybe
I
start
kinda-
off with like a good pick. I don't know. I don't know how.
No, you
like,
guys
what
did a
the,
good
what the
job.
strategy
Off the
is. No,
board
for sure.
pick,
I mean,
I'm just kind of curious where you guys would have put somebody like Othman.
if there was no spots left, I think you got to put him 5. He didn't score a single goal in like his whole friggin' career with the Rangers. What did he score? 1?
Yeah, I would say
I
4 or
believe so.
5.
Yeah. I mean, Hedel, like, I feel bad for the kid. He's obviously not going to make it much longer with all the head injuries and stuff, but at least they were able to trade for JT Miller with him and stuff. At least he was a trade piece. They got that one playoff run with the kid line. He played great. That one playoff run, so I'm comfortable.
I mean, I would have
very
put
comfortable
Othman
with
at
that list.
4 just because he had a good attitude until the end. He went down to Hartford. He did what he could do. He just couldn't get it done in the NHL for the Rangers. So I wish him luck. But
Well, maybe
I
he
don't
didn't
know
have
about-
the right attitude in Hartford. Maybe that's
maybe
why
not.
Yeah,
But Elias Anderson, you heard it from him more. So I would have
Yeah.
put him at 5.
definitely.
So what
Definitely.
graphic you got for us? I got a goalie situation I want to talk to Dom about after this. Go ahead.
All right. I'll roll the graphics and everything, and we could talk more about that.
Yeah, so we're just gonna roll some recent first round draft picks. We got Capo Caco, 2nd overall, 2019. He was with the Rangers till 2024. He had 61 goals, 70 assists, 131 points with what is that? 4 seasons?
Yeah, roughly, because I want to say he got traded in the beginning of 2024-25.
Yeah.
I'm saying like November.
Yeah, I think he definitely wanted out, but honestly, I think this is one of those players that they kind of gave up on. He was a great 2-way player. I think the Rangers fan base gave up on him really early, gave him a hard time, which trickles down into the media or vice versa. I just don't think he ever got a fair shake. I think he would have been a pretty solid 2-way player if they stuck with him. What were your feelings on Kako when he was around, Dom?
Man, yeah, I was super excited for him. I'm not gonna lie. I really that 1-2. I don't know if everybody remembers that draft class, with how hyped up it was with him and Hughes, and
Yep.
how people were even saying like, oh, Kako's gonna go first and after the World Juniors. So I was really hyped up about him. I feel like honestly, in a different world, maybe on a different development cycle, he could have been something. He had a really good frame. I know Coach talks about having a good NHL ready frame. He had a really good NHL ready frame, just not didn't put it together, and it happens.
Yeah, I also think he lost a lot of confidence, not really seeing a lot of consistent playing time or playing lower in the lineup. So I think that definitely didn't help. As much as I'd love to see him have success with the Rangers, I'm happy he's having success over in Seattle. But yeah, I was really high on Kako too. Honestly, I was a bit more high on Kako than Hughes, but obviously
Me
now
too.
I've been proven wrong on that.
Yeah. But like Dom said, I think in a different situation, it would have been better for him. I think he's the type of player that would have thrived just by playing like even a few games in Hartford, like Gabe, like Perot did, like just getting a little feel for it, proving that you shouldn't be there, getting that confidence right off the bat instead of kind of just playing in Panarin shadow and all these players like we always talk about.
Yeah.
Coach, you have anything to add about Kaka before we move on?
I mean, it was a tough situation because he had to come in. The Rangers were just out of that rebuilding thing. They got that draft pick after Laffy, and he was going to step right in. They weren't at a position where they didn't need another number one pick. So,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? At that point, putting him down the AHL would have been, the fan base would have went crazy, first of all, and they weren't doing well at that point, is what I'm trying to say. So they needed, they had a number one pick. They had Laffy the year before, then him, and they should have filled in. I just think it was tough for him coming over from Finland, personally.
A little bit of a homesick thing. He didn't really have anybody over here.
A lot of pressure, different world.
Definitely. I think that's something that we discussed it a decent amount, but it's not talked about enough around like how young these kids are coming to a completely new country, new situation. It rubs off on everyone differently. So I think that's important for like the organization to have people in the organization to help kind of like bridge that gap a little bit.
Yeah.
So, who we got next, Nick? I miss Kako. Like I said, I think he's going to turn into a pretty good two-way player.
So
yeah, I don't wish
him
him
further out
bad.
on this one.
They'll see. He was just on NHL today.
You guys got a feel for Coach Ed's favorite players over the years. You really do.
You've been listening.
Yeah, doing your homework, no doubt. Delzato.
He does a great job as an analyst on NHL Network. I've said it before. He was on today with Rupper. Great job.
Yeah, I mean, hey, just because he wasn't like the best defenseman in the league doesn't mean he wasn't a very, very good hockey player. 20th overall in 2008, was with the Rangers from 2009 to 2014. 26 goals, 95 assists, 121 points. Was he on that Stanley Cup final team?
He was not. He was traded earlier in the season.
Traded
Kevin Klein.
Oh, right. Yeah, Klein was a big part of that team. Yeah, so Delzato, I guess it was kind of just like a suitcase a little bit towards the end of his career, but he made a pretty good career for himself. He is on the Cup, right? Wasn't with St. Louis? St. Louis, right?
I believe so.
I don't know if it's St. Louis, but he's on the Cup.
Yep. Well, good for Delzato. And like Coach Ed said, he's a great analyst and does a good job, and definitely a good-looking guy for TV, so good for him. What we got next? Looks like we might have lost it. There we go. We're back.
Yeah, I got to shorten these clip times.
It's all right. We're not really talking that much about each guy. Brady Shea, 28th overall, another more recent one. 20 overall in 2012, 28th overall. He was on the team from 2015 to 2020. 25 goals, 87 assists, 112 points. He's currently playing for the Nashville Predators. Yeah, I mean, he did well for the Rangers. One of those right-hand defensemen we keep talking about. He was skilled. He could skate. Probably wish he was a little bit more physical, I guess. But had a pretty good career with the Rangers, and then went on to Carolina. And, yeah, what are you guys laughing about?
Sorry, I see now Dylan McElrath for the next player.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead. You announced this one then.
Yeah, no, Dylan McElrath. That dude, I remember just really getting into hockey, seeing this guy, and I remember my dad explaining to me that how drafting works, and the higher up you are, the better player. And 10th overall seemed like we were gonna get like the next like Shea Weber or whatever. And I mean, yeah, he just turned out to be a complete bust. Hopped around for a few years. I think he came back to the Rangers later on, if I'm not wrong, as like a really like a depth piece, like in the AHL, and then just kind of bounced out of the league, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, just an all around bust.
Yeah,
I do have a little bit of a trivia question for you guys, real quick. One guess from each of you guys. When I was looking up the stuff for Dylan McElrath, it showed that he wore 2 different numbers with the Rangers. One was 42. Just take a quick stab at what you think the other one might have been, because I wasn't expecting this one.
If Blue Line Blue Shirts is still in the chat, he might know.
I say number 2.
No way. He was retired.
He
No?
couldn't have been. Yeah.
Oh, did they retire Leach's number by then?
He was
Yeah.
retired
2010, yeah.
in, what was that, 2009, 2010 maybe? So maybe right then. Yeah. I don't know.
He was number 6.
6?
Yeah.
Zach Jones. All right.
Why do you find that so intriguing, Dom?
I
Nick.
just wasn't expecting him to have 2
Nick.
different numbers unless there was some reason why he had to change, but I never heard of a reason why he would have had to change his number.
Well, 42 is usually like that training camp, I guess, number.
Maybe. They had to listen as that for a couple of years on Hockey DB.
Yeah.
Unless you're Brendan Smith,
Ooh,
42.
We're gonna round it out or finish it off here with Chris Kreider, 19th overall in 2009, 2012 to 2025, and he came in from Boston College and made an immediate impact in that playoff run in 2012. Finished high on the Rangers' all-time list with 326 goals, 256 assists, and 582 points. Yeah, I guess if I don't know how far you guys are going to go back with the blind rankings, but if you threw Kreider in the mix there, that would have been a little bit of a curveball. But we didn't really agree on how recent we wanted to go there. But
I mean,
yeah, obviously Kreider's
50 goal scorer, not many in Rangers history.
Yep.
So there's one of those picks that developed late in the first round there, Nick.
Late in their career.
I mean, if any of the guys that we take end up panning out like Kreider did, I will eat my words right here on the podcast.
Well, you don't know if they are. I'm not
Well,
disagreeing
yeah, of
with
course,
you. You
but,
don't
I
know
mean,
if they are. You know,
if
you're
they-
trying to
if it
figure out all
manages
these
to, I
variables,
will-
analytics and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we're still
All right.
doing the podcast by then, Nick.
Yeah,
and
that's
we're
true.
thriving and we're
Uh,
going strong.
I'll revive it for one episode if we're not. And I'll live.
The 10-year anniversary of the 2026 NHL draft.
Exactly.
We'll see where we're at. Oh, and you also, Dom, you got a clip before that that Coach Ed is afraid of the NHL or the Devils GM for being too analytical.
Yes, yeah. I actually when he said that, I thought of the title as like Coach Afraid of Devils ? Or very generic type of
Or
but I
Coach
can't do
Afraid
that.
of
I can't do
analytics.
that.
I'm not afraid of analytics. I'm afraid he mixed it because he came from the Florida Panthers, and the way they're figuring it out to sign all these guys and do it this way, he's got a good grasp on what to do, and the Devils have a pretty good team, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will. Yes, we will. It will. Yeah.
So my goalie question was,
what do you got?
Dom, I noticed watching Igor, I'm going to say for the last half of the season, a lot of the goals in the playoffs, I see deflection goals, right? And I notice the goal, you'll just go in there, butterfly, and take away the percentage, and the deflection kind of beats them where they're not playing the original shot, target shot. And Igor, to me, towards the end of the season, I saw him do multiple times. He would come out of the net on an angle and get closer to the guy with the deflection. So just smothering him. Almost like a catcher in baseball, the way they have to come out and smother the ball in the dirt. I don't know if you're following me on that.
Yeah.
In other words, most of the guys now, if they can't see what's going on, or say the wrist shot's coming from the point, they're down, they got their glove up, and then the deflection tips it under their arm. And he's going and like challenging where the puck's going and where the guy is deflecting it. He's squaring up to him. So I thought that was very interesting. I didn't see, what's his name? Ottinger got beat like 3 times in the playoffs, just holding that position with a deflection. And the other night, who was it? I want to say it was, it might have been the Minnesota game.
Wallstead?
Yeah, he got beat like that, where he was just holding the position I'm gonna watch it next year. I want to see if he's doing the same thing. I'm curious. I didn't see him always doing that, and I noticed it like I'm gonna say the last half of the season.
Yeah, yeah. So definitely, I'm a smaller goalie myself. I'm only 5'8", like 5'9", like on that range. So I would always come out to play the angle. A lot of the times with deflections too, like you described it perfectly with trying to get up really close to close that angle. Because worst it's gonna happen is he's gonna get that stick and it's gonna go either high, or he's gonna hit into you and cause a goalie interference or something where the puck is you're further out, so the puck is closer to you. So
Right.
you're always gonna want like I always like I said, I'm smaller, so I always play that angle. Igor is kind of smaller for an NHL goal. Not saying 6'1" is small, but
No, compared to
he's
these other monsters, yeah.
yeah, like Wallsted's a big guy. Ottinger, you mentioned, he's a bigger guy. He doesn't have to play that angle, so they'll automatically take that lower half away. So what I always advised other goalies and other goalies advised me is take that angle away so you don't have to listen. If it's deflected, it's deflected. It's going to go high regardless, even if you're in butterfly. But if you can get up close and cause a little disturbance to that player and even get like maybe a stick on it, or when you're in butterfly, see the puck when it's in his feet. Igor is I think developed into knowing that he's not bigger and he plays very low. So I think he's probably going to continue doing that.
I like the way he plays. I'm a big fan with the goalies that I've coached. I always encourage them to be active with the stick on the path through the slot, because that's another thing I noticed, that east-west pass. The goalies just tend to butterfly or do that reverse V or whatever the hell you call it, and just like try to stop the shot.
Yeah.
I'm like, to me, if you're on the left post and that puck is coming across the crease, deflect the puck.
Yeah.
Just turn your stick and deflect the puck. I guess it's just a natural reaction in your training and the speed of the game, but a lot of it has to do with trusting your D and playing in unison with your defensemen and whatnot. But I get that whole thing, but I just thought it was interesting. So
yeah, no, I mean,
keep an eye on that next year.
I hate to give props to Brodeur, but Brodeur, as much as he was kind of praised for having an active stick, like stick handling, he also had a very active stick, like you were saying, on the post, swatting those 100%. Shots away. So that's a very underrated game, because, like you said, if you stick your stick out, the worst you're gonna do is have to take it back in and face that shot if you miss the puck. But you have a higher % chance to at least put your stick down enough to be able to deflect that puck a little bit or slow it down, rather than just take that one timer in front of the net.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a quick choice for sure. I'm not saying it's an easy one, but with practice, I think they would develop it more. But that's up to the goalie and the coaches, obviously. I guess we're going to talk about other things when we come to the free agency episode. I'll keep my next comments till then. You're on mute, bud.
Yeah, Lillard, I think you're on mute.
My bad, guys. I was filling up my drink. I wanted to let you have that conversation.
I put a few things in the notes I want to talk about.
Well, never too early to get started on start prepping for our summer episodes. So definitely stay tuned for those fans. We'll definitely be doing another draft episode when that time comes around. And then, yeah, like Coach Ed said, free agency and some trades over the summer if anything comes up. But yeah, before we say goodbye this week, we figured we'd give you our round 2 picks of the NHL playoffs, even though one round is underway, or 2 rounds are underway already. No, 3 actually, Carolina as well. So we got the only one that hasn't started yet is the Buffalo one, right? The Buffalo series.
That should be tonight, isn't it?
No, it's tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night?
This is the only game on tonight, Wild and Avalanche, or is there a late game on?
No, this is the only game. Tomorrow's Sabres, Canadians, and then Ducks and Vegas later on tomorrow night.
So getting right into that weird schedule of the NHL. Can't just have 2 games a night on, huh? So Minnesota and Colorado are on right now. So why don't we just start with them? We already discussed it a little bit in the beginning of the episode. A huge game 1, 9-6, 15 goals, high-scoring game. real quick, Coach, what were your thoughts on like such a high scoring game? I know we talked about how surprising it was, but did you really think that the defense or like the game overall was that poor? They were discussing it on TNT, and Anson Carter was like disgusted. He's like, "Oh, this is terrible hockey."
Well, I really fell asleep after the second period, I'll be honest, but I watched that they switched goalies, Minnesota, for tonight, not because the other guy played so bad. It's just, they got to switch something up. Cale Makar's both goals were in the top corner. Like there was probably a hole this big to score. And then Kadri, the same thing, posting in. To me, those aren't like a goalie missing the puck 100%. I know it sounds stupid, but these were high level shots. There were no freak goals. Like look at the Montreal goal where the game winner went banked off of the goalie and in. These were all like high technical shots, high skilled shots.
Grade A chances, yeah.
Cale Makar it was just something to watch, the skill level that was out there that night. I don't know. That's how I look at it. I don't want to see a 9-6 game by no means, but I don't think Minnesota played that bad. It's obviously the first period's almost over. It's only 1-1. So
no, it's 2-1.
Yeah, what a play on that power play.
I'm sorry, I'm a little behind. Sorry.
Colorado just scored.
No, it literally just happened. Yeah, Colorado just scored 2-1.
Power play.
Yeah, Dom, you can give your thoughts on the goal. What?
Okay, it's a lot. Like I said, when you have two skilled teams like that.
So who you got in this series?
I got to stick with the Wild. That's my team. I got to stick with the Wild. I got to keep.
How many games?
Let's see what happens.
How many games?
Oh, I'm gonna go with. It's gonna go the distance at this point.
Yeah, I'm gonna double down with you and say Wild in 7 as well. Nick, what do you say?
I'm gonna say Colorado in 6. I don't think the Wild can hold up to it.
And Dom, what were your thoughts on the goaltending in Game 1, and then give your pick?
I agree with Coach. I don't think it was necessarily their fault. I think it's a lot of the time you see that in the first game of series. It's very high scoring. Teams don't know each other that well. I'm sure it'll go down. Not tonight. It's already 2-1 tonight, so we'll see. But
see what happens.
Yeah. Both goalies are really good. I really like Wallstead. Is Wallstead in right now? I'm not too sure.
No, they switched.
Okay, the other kid's in. Okay.
Wallstead was in last night. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, no, I really like him. What do you call it? So both goalies are good. I just think Colorado offensively and overall is too good. I think they're gonna win it in 5.
In 5.
Yeah.
All right.
They win tonight.
Landeskog,
definitely see. He just got it. Coach Ed is a little behind. Yeah, that play on the power play was unbelievable. Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. I'm definitely picking the Wild with my heart a little bit. Colorado is definitely a little scary, but my biggest X factor is obviously, it's obvious to say, is Cale Makar. If he could stay healthy, he looked a little banged up last night or 2 nights ago, but if he could stay healthy, then yeah, if the Wild find a way to maybe bang him around a little bit, then that's going to be a huge difference. Let's stay in the West. Golden Knights and the Ducks, they started their series. Golden Knights are currently up 1-0. I'll go first with this one. I think the Golden Knights are going to stick it through just with the experience. Tortorella at the helm, Jack Eichel, Mark Stone, all those guys. The Ducks are a really good team. They're led by Joel Quenneville, obviously really good coach, but it's just not their time yet, but they're going to be dangerous in the future. I'll go with Vegas in 6. I'll give the Ducks a few games. Dom, we'll go clockwise. Who you got next?
Man, I had the Ducks last round. I'm pretty happy that they locked in my prediction for 7. So I'm not. I have them. Sorry, I'm pretty happy they locked in my prediction, but I have them in 7 winning this series. I think they come back from that 1-0 deficit to win it in 7.
Sweet, Nick.
Honestly, I think because a lot of players on Vegas have been here before compared to Anaheim, that gives them the edge for me. Kind of going back to like what you had said, Ed. I
Yeah.
have the Golden Knights in 5. I don't think the Ducks are really going to be able to pull out much.
All right, Coach.
I'm going to agree with Nick.
Vegas in 5.
Yeah, I don't think they have it in them, the Ducks.
All right, we'll see. I think that's going to be a good series.
I
At
mean, I
least
don't
it'll be
think I had them
exciting.
in the
Vegas
first
might end up
round.
winning every game, but I think the Ducks are going to really put up a fight. Make it some close games.
What'd you guys think of that call on the icing? Well, non-icing.
I didn't
see
see.
that.
I didn't see like the replay enough, but from what I heard is obviously like the NHL rule is just like up for interpretation, like anything else. I heard today that it's not the first player to make it to the circle that we always thought, like that. Why they always like stretch out their stick. It's up to the ref to judge who's gonna make it first,
Right.
which is crazy. But
That's a tough. You talk about the world of television replay and challenges and the strike zone computerized and this and that, and you're leaving a judgment call like that.
I feel like the whole point that they made that rule in the first place is to avoid the injury. So if you're going to avoid the injury, then just call it like it is. Just make it whoever wins that race to that point,
to the hash mark,
like we thought it was to begin with. So just another thing is
well, I like what they said on the radio today. You're taught from 5 years old, play the whistle, and from what I heard, the Ducks player didn't play the whistle. He just took it for granted.
Yeah, I only saw the replay once. I was driving around today, so I'd have to see it to really give an opinion. But I thought that was interesting that the rule isn't even what we think it is.
Yeah.
All right, let's head over to the East. Sabres versus Canadians. Like we said, they haven't started yet. Their game 1 is tomorrow night. I mentioned before, Canadians shocked the hockey world by not recording a single shot and only recording 3 shots in the third period. A single shot in the second period, only 3 shots in the third. And they found a way to beat Tampa in game 7. This is going to be a hard series to predict, so I'm not going to go first. Let's give Nick this one. How about that?
I have the Sabres winning it in 7. You shouldn't be able to just coast through a second round series after getting outshot by 20 by Tampa Bay to win it. So, I mean, I think both teams have dogs on them, so I think it's going to be a battle, but I think the Sabres just got it in 7.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll piggyback that. I'll say the Sabres in 7 as well for all the same reasons. I just wasn't really impressed with Montreal, and even like looking at their roster, I'm not really impressed. I mean, Slafkovsky had a few good games like early in the series, but he kind of
got shut down.
Yeah, he got shut down towards the end. Cole Caulfield was pretty much invisible the whole series. I guess in the beginning he was pretty good too, but he ended up getting shut down too. All these players, like Coach and I always talk about or have talked about in recent episodes, like they're just not that playoff style player. Like Cole Caulfield, he's not gonna. How is he gonna find any open ice in the Eastern Conference Final? I mean, come on. I love him as a player, but
with 6'4" defenseman.
Yeah, I mean, he's an outstandingly skilled player. He could put up 50 in the regular season, but it's gonna be real hard when it gets down to the Stanley Cup final, the Eastern Conference final. Coach, who you got for this one?
I kind of love both coaches on this one, so it's hard. I want Lindy Ruff to have a comeback because so many people ran him out of town and wrote him off. And I love Marty St. Louis, obviously, from what his Instagram posts are with the Seinfeld thing and his whole hanging out with the guys and stuff. He had a few movie references too, which
he did the Wolf of Wall Street last night or after they won.
But I'm going to go with Lindy Ruff and the Sabres. I'm going to go with it in 6.
6.
I don't think Montreal defensive style is strong enough to hold them back. I think they're on a roll, Buffalo, and I'm going to go with them.
All right, cool. Dom, round us out.
Man, I got Montreal in 7. I love Marty with St. Louis, and I'm not impressed by the Sabres goaltending. I'm not crazy about Pekka Luukkonen or Lyon, so I think it's going to be a crazy series. I think it's going to go back and forth, like you guys said. I just think that Montreal comes out on top, just in kind of a scramble.
All right. Yeah, I can see that.
Who's got home ice in that?
Buffalo, because they won the division.
Yeah, Buffalo, yeah.
Buffalo, right?
Yeah. Yep. All right. Last but not least, Hurricanes versus Flyers. I was at the wedding this weekend. Well, I didn't even mention it. Shout out to James and Anna. One of my best friends from college got married. I was in the wedding. It was a lot of fun. But the room was filled with Flyers fans. I was really hoping that they were going to pull out the Game 7. The Game 7 would have been like during the wedding. So like it would have just been the groom is a Flyers fan, so all of his family, obviously. And then there was a few of my other college buddies who were Flyers fans. So that would have been real interesting. But even Game 1, they were huddled around the phone. So I can't even imagine what they would have felt like with Game 7. But yeah, I guess I'll take this one just because the Flyers fans at the wedding weren't even confident. So I'm going to have to say Hurricanes in 6. Who wants to go next?
I'll take the Hurricanes in 5.
Hurricanes in 5 for Coach.
Yeah.
Make that 2. I got the Hurricanes in 5 as well.
I mean, to me, the Hurricanes may sweep them, but I'm giving the Flyers 1 game.
No,
Dom, you too?
No, I think in a Hurricane sweep.
Canes in 4.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think I was just being nice to my Philly friends over there. They did play
it's
him
already 2 games to none. Is it 2 games to none already?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they played him tough in Game 2, though.
Yeah.
I think Tocchet will hopefully learn from his own mistakes if he had any, and maybe try to give the team a little bit of a pep talk. And I was having a conversation with my buddy who's a Flyers fan, like I said, and they just got to beat him up. And as soon as they started to do that, it started to shift a little bit towards the end of Game 1 and Game 2. But they just got to find a way to keep these guys off the score sheet. But I don't know. I can't stand Carolina. I think they're very overrated. But we'll see what happens. It's getting to the point where I hate Carolina more than like I hate the Flyers, which my girlfriend Lindsay, she's like, really? You don't hate Philly as much as Carolina? I was like, I think I hate Carolina more at this point, just because of recent history with the Rangers playing them in the playoffs like every year. But all right, that rounds out.
DeAndre getting a lot of accolades on the radio today.
Yeah. Yep. We'll see if he can keep it together. His baby mom is about to have a baby any minute now, so that might be perfect timing for everybody involved. See what happens.
For a complete collapse.
Yeah, for a complete collapse in the Eastern Conference Final. All right. Well, good episode, boys. Nick, Dom, great job. I guess we'll see you guys next week. Not really sure what we have planned. We're kind of just going to keep going how like we see fit for the summer. I don't know. There's not really much going on next week, so maybe we'll just take a week off and try to.
Maybe the worst case we'll have at the end of round 2 episode.
Yeah, we're working on some guests, like I keep mentioning. We got some people on the hook, but I don't want to get above my skis or get ahead of my skis again. But yeah, we're definitely working on some people, some exciting guests, but. There's a lot going on in the NHL playoffs, so it's going to be hard to get some of the guests we're trying to get right now, but we'll get them for the summer. So definitely stay tuned. We had a lot of viewers tonight, the watch along for the draft lottery. So we'll keep on with you guys if you keep on going with us. So thanks a lot, fans. Love you all. Can't appreciate you enough. We wouldn't be doing this without you. Thank you to all of our partners who didn't get a segment this week. We're going to do our best to be creative with our segments, but shout out to Sorrento's, Old Country Ceramic Tile, Bella Italian Marble as always, Lucarelli Law as always, and O'Brien's Bar and Grill. If you're heading over to the Knicks or heading over to the Garden to see the Knicks play or want to watch the Knicks one of their away games, definitely head on over to O'Brien's. And yeah, if you're staying local, head on over to Sorrento's for your game day meal for these playoff games. Especially with the nicer weather coming along. They have some great outdoor seating and serve really good food as always. So shout out to all of our sponsors and friends. If I forgot you, I'm sorry. We'll get you next week.
Great job, fellas. Thanks, everybody's dittoing on everything Eddie said. So great job, and looking forward to watching second round.
Hell yeah. Keep enjoying that stress-free playoff hockey without the Rangers involved.
Yeah.
Hopefully for not too much longer. You guys got anything to add?
Nah.
No, just
No?
keep on enjoying that hockey and let's go Rangers Ed, baby.
Yeah.
All right,
do
good
it.
stuff, guys.
Thanks, fellas.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Let's go Rangers and let's go Rangers Ed. Love you
There
guys.
you go.